Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails, a new account story. Today is, week 5, I believe, and we are moving right along with our account progression. Lots of interesting stuff has been happening lately, and let's kind of recap a little bit of what's going on here. I'm going to try to do this all in one shot. The first big thing that happened was we hit level 65 and we unlocked guild events. And that is huge. We just finished our first territory war and it was pretty good. We ended up we ended up deploying a somewhat subpar fleet. You guys can see all these cool fleets, and there we go. This is the only thing we could actually deploy. Keep in mind, folks, if you're going to deploy in territory wars, your characters all have to be 6,000 GP or more. And I did not have any characters that were more than 6,000 GP other than Zeb. You can't deploy just one character, you have to deploy a full squad's worth. So luckily, I did have a capital ship and 3 fighters that were all over 6,000, and now I do have my Phoenix squad is over 6,000. But keep that in mind. That was the only way I could get points. We didn't end up getting a full clear, but we did get the win. So that's pretty cool. Now Nox is not letting me click on this. I don't know what the deal is. There we go. All right. So, we've been cashing in on these raid rewards, which is great. And otherwise, things have been going pretty well. The other milestones this week, we got our first Gear 8 character, and that is Darth Vader. We're going to keep putting gear on him. He's going to go all the way to Relic, 7 eventually, one day. Not anytime too soon. Maybe not even on this account ever, actually. Relic 7 is maybe not in the cards for a very long time for this account. Otherwise, we're level 67 on all of our characters. Everyone is Gear 7 now, other than Vader, who's 8. Bastila is... I keep working on her slowly. She is eventually going to be really important. Akbar has gotten some gear. Biggs is 4 stars now. He is getting gear as well. Boba's getting some gear. Another huge piece, guys, is I was able, because I got 5 stars on all of my Phoenix, other than Sabine, who we continue to farm, even though she's not that useful right now. She will eventually be very useful. All of our Phoenix are at least 5 stars. And that means that we have 5 rebels that can unlock Emperor Palpatine, which is great. We've got him at gear 4, so he's not that great yet. But next time you guys see him, he'll probably be a little bit stronger. We also, because of Phoenix, we were able to unlock at Grand Admiral Thrawn at 5 stars. Also not that usable right now, but we're going to keep working on that. And... otherwise, guys, it looks like we've got some shards from Stormtrooper Han. That's pretty cool. We're eventually going to want him to be at 7 stars, but that's just from the daily login. Otherwise, I'll show you my Galactic War. I haven't actually done it this time, but you'll see when I click on here, we've completed 32. So 32 out of 32. There's 0 Galactic Wars that we have failed. So that is great. Otherwise, I want to show you guys mods in just a minute, because mods are a huge milestone, and I want to kind of walk you guys through a little bit of how I approach them, at least in the early game. So, one thing I do want to point out, though, guys, so we have a bunch of fleet content that's available, but they didn't really scale it very well in this. Frankly, this mode is just not very well scaled. So, For instance, I wish I had saved one of these sims because they look the same, but here I can't complete this tier. Even though it would be nice to get the rewards from this tier, it is driving me a little crazy. I'm guessing in the next week or so we'll be able to. I'm starting to get a little traction on this one, but right now this is not very approachable. However, tier 1 is still fine, so I just did this. Don't pull your hair out over ships stuff, guys. It is really frustrating, I agree. I totally commiserate. Just don't worry yourself about it much. Like just move along. Complete it when you can. Complete it when you can. I'll show you guys my ships right now that I've been farming. I finally managed to get a couple of these TIE Advanced X1s. We're farming TIE Bomber, which is very important for our future Empire fleet. Do that every day if you can. Slave 1, when we see the shards in the shop, we get those. We also get the Ghost and Phantom shards. It looks like we're coming along. Ghost will hopefully be unlocked in the next week. TIE Fighter is almost at 3 stars. The Biggs's X-Wing is getting there. Jedi Consular's Starfighter. We need to get it to 3 stars. It's painful to star that ship up because we're not going to use it super long term, but right now, early game, it is important. And then I did get lucky and got Home 1 up to 3 stars. Stars don't do a huge amount of, make a huge amount of impact early on in the stars levels for ships, except they allow access to content that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to do. Now, the other piece here, guys, is these Fleet Battle 2, like, I got 3 stars on the first one, and after that, I just can't beat them. Maybe I could now. I haven't tried for a couple days, but, like, they're just really hard. And honestly, guys, just wait till you're ready. There's not a huge rush. Yes, it would be very nice to be able to unlock the hard nodes here because we could start farming Bastila on ships and on regular squad nodes, but let's just stay the course. Let's just hang out. We'll get there eventually. There's not a huge rush. It is not worth pulling our hair out and just hating life. It just isn't. There are better things to do. There are better things to hate in life than the ships. I mean, you'll grow to hate ships eventually if you're like me. I hope you like them though, actually. So otherwise, we're just progressing nicely. We're going to get everyone up to 7 stars. You'll see that Hera and Ezra here are both 5 stars. I might eventually take a break. I haven't quite decided yet 100% what we're going to do. I think we're going to just get Ezra and Hera both to 7 stars before we start working on TIE Fighter Pilot. TIE Fighter Pilot will be the next Cantina farm in this in this group because we need another Empire character to be at 7 stars. We also need TIE Fighter Pilot's ship to be good, and the higher the star level, the higher your ship is going to be. So that's also important. As far as farming in shipments go, you see I've continued to buy these 4 pieces for credits every single time, every single shipment. That's important. This is still just basically nothing. We can stop buying sim tickets now because we get them in Fleet Arena. Here we'll buy another Chopper shard, and we need to get Chopper up to 7 stars. He's one of the pilots for the Rebel fleet that we're building, so we need to keep getting his star level up. Again, we continue to buy these pieces as we can, as is necessary. I've just paused on buying this piece because we have so many already. However, we may as well buy it. It's only 100. You'll see that because we're raiding a lot, but we're not buying a ton of gear, we're getting, and we did our territory war, we're getting a bunch of this currency. And so we can start buying characters. The characters that I'm buying right now, I'm buying Dengar, I'm buying Paplu, and Paplu seems a little crazy, but we're eventually going to need him to help us unlock 3PO, so we need to buy Paplu shards, low gray shards when we see them, even Ewok Elder shards, all three of those in this shop we can buy. Dengar shards need to have the priority because he is a bounty hunter and we're building a bounty hunter squad. Old Ben is a Jedi and we want to start farming him, so we need to start farming him. Yeah, this I will come out. I'm going to show you guys the farming guide soon. I promised it a couple days ago, and I haven't followed through. That is in the works. It's just taking a little longer than I previously had hoped for. However, I will show you guys one thing real quick here. And that is the squads that we're working toward. This is kind of this is what I'm calling phase 1. And that is essentially these are the squads we will eventually need. We'll need 3 squads for our first Grand Arena, and I don't think we'll have all of these quite at the start of Grand Arena when we unlock it, but this is kind of these are the squads we're shooting for. So you can see we have Phoenix here, Sabine is in here, you'll note Ezra is actually with Bastila down here, and these are all these images are taken from my main account. These are the gear levels on my main account, so don't worry, we're not trying to get this crazy gear level here. That's not something we're not shooting for these at all. We do need to get these unlocked though. So you can see where these are our target things. These are the things that we're attempting to get to. These are our short-term goals. And whereas we don't have a lot of these unlocked, I just wanted to show you guys like a visual representation of things that we're going to be working on for Grand Arena, so that you can understand kind of the reason behind all of the different farming things that I'm asking you to do. So we have Phoenix, we have a Hodgepodge Jedi squad, and we're going to be using these guys plus Kanan to get us to to unlock Grandmaster Yoda. Grandmaster Yoda could be the 5th in this Bastila squad as well, if you wanted to add that. We also were working on bounty hunters. Bosk, eventually we're going to drop everything and just try to get him geared up as quick as we can, or farmed up as quick as we can. We want to ship Django and the Houndstooth, which is Bosk's ship, are both going to be useful soon, and they're farmable on the same node. We already have Boba, that we're going to be farming him pretty soon to higher star levels. He also has a ship that we need to be farming. Again, I'll go over all this in the farming guide, which will be soon. Dengar and Cad Bane. Cad Bane we're starting to farm from the Galactic War store. And then now we have Palpatine, we have Vader, we have Thrawn, we have TIE Fighter Pilot, and just today I unlocked the node to start farming Bastila Shan Fallen. And she is a very important character. She only needs 25 shards to unlock, but she is going to be really, really strong with this squad. And we'll already have this full squad already completely, well, they won't be completely farmed, but we already have that squad. Like, they're all unlocked, at least, except for Bastila, who should be a week or 2 away. We can wait for that long. Then we have this Hodgepodge Rebels team with Akbar, Stormtrooper Han, Leia, Farm Boy Luke, and Biggs. And a lot of these characters are required to eventually unlock Commander Luke. And with Commander Luke, we're also unlocking, because we're raiding, we're getting Han. We'll unlock Chewie because we'll have the bounty hunters at 5 stars, hopefully pretty quick, eventually. And R2 will have all the different Empire characters at 5 stars or higher, so we'll be able to start working on him. So these are the squads that we're kind of working on for the first few divisions. We only need a total of 6 squads, 3 on defense, 3 on offense, and these are the ones we're shooting for. So I'll show you guys the other infographic that I made. This is also found on my Discord server, which is found in the video description. So go check that out. Check both of these infographics out. They'll both be posted there by the time this is posted. And just kind of an overview of what we're doing in week 5. And let's cut back to this. Let's cut back to this screen here with the game. So, anyways, I will come out with the farming guide. It'll have all this information of what you should be farming in Guild Store here. In the squad arena, we're just farming Kanan. We almost have him at 6 stars. Up top here, we're basically just focusing on ships a lot. I got Plo Koon's fighter because eventually he will be useful. We don't necessarily need to be farming him, but I had the shards, and this ship is kind of rare up top here, so I did buy those. I'm also starting, now that we have Biggs at 4 stars, we're going to pause him. We're going to unlock Cad Bane so that we have another bounty hunter available. We're not buying mods in this store if credits are way too precious. And in the fleet, you see I got the TIE Advanced. And then I didn't really find any characters this time that I wanted to unlock or ships. We do need to be focusing on the Phantom and the Ghost. It's in one of these 2 slots. Very, very important. And then we have this. We have the Guild Events store now that we have unlocked Guild Events. The only things that we need to be buying here in this store, because there are characters here. Eventually there'll be a ton of gear that are taking up these slots, and the characters will be at the bottom. Eventually we will be buying ship shards. There's nothing here that we wanted though this time. We do want ship shards. We want a couple character shards here and there. And then this shard store is probably not going to be used for a while. So those are the farms that we're doing. Looks like we got some raid rewards. Great. And now guys, I want to show you guys the modding. Modding is very, very important for our characters. And let's see. Let's just start, guys. So the first thing I want to tell you guys, that we're only gonna look at 3 different mod types today, and I really want to make sure everything is as simple as I can for you guys. So we're gonna go into mod mode here, so we can see the mods on each character. Now you can see the dots on each mod. I've talked about those before. The higher the dot, the better, and the 4-dot mods are all eventually just going to disappear. We don't want 4-dot mods on our characters right now. It's too expensive to get 5-dot mods on everyone. So the type of mods that I'm going to talk about today, and they aren't necessarily the most important, but they're the ones I have access to. The first one that I want to talk about are the defense mods. They're the ones with the little shields. These guys. So a lot of people, there's this misconception out there that health mods, which have this, let's see, this little symbol here, like the little flower-looking thing. People think that the health mods, because they provide a health bonus, it's a pretty tangible stat. They think that the health mods are the best for tanks. The truth is, almost unilaterally, these defense mods are actually better. It gives a non-obvious stat gain, which is armor, and it's really hard to tell. Like, at least with health, it adds to your total health pool, as you can see here if you look at the stats. Like that's an obvious thing. It's like hit points. How many hit points does a character have? Less obvious is what armor does, and I don't want to get into that. It's very hard to explain anyways, hard to wrap your mind around. But armor, in the end, like using these protection, or rather these defense mods, it's going to be a little bit better than than the health mods. Well, we're not going to farm health mods basically at all, but that's a distinction that you guys should know is defense. If we're going to farm something, we're going to farm defense mods. The next type of mod I want to talk about here are the crit damage mods, and I guess we'll throw in crit chance as well. So crit damage, that's how much damage you do when you crit. You want the little exclamation mark. It's like you're putting an emphasis on your attack. You need 4 of those for the bonus to actually take place. And when you do finally get that bonus, once you equip 4 on a character and upgrade them all to level 15, then you'll get that character will start doing plus 30% crit damage. That's really important. Eventually we're going to be putting offense mods on characters, but we don't have that. We don't have access to those yet. And a lot of times crit damage sets are going to be interchangeable with offense in terms of functionality. The other piece of this is, so we have 4 mod slots that need to be crit damage. The other 2, if you're doing crit damage, you're going to want to crit more, so you're going to want a crit chance, and that's just 2x. The 2x symbol, I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to symbolize other than you have more opportunity to crit. So if you have 2 of those on a character, then you have plus 8% crit chance. And as you can see here, I'll click on this. If you scroll down just a little bit, you can see your crit chance. Ezra is at 33.33. That's pretty fancy modding. Eventually, we're going to have characters that are over 100%, like Han Solo, for instance. But this is a decent amount for now. And so crit damage and crit chance go hand in hand. We're going to be farming both of those a lot. The final one that I want to show you guys is potency, and potency is really important. I just unlocked the potency node here, and so I have, now that I have 5-star characters, I can actually start farming these potency mods. I could start farming 5 mods of a bunch of different ones. So I've already done it for health, defense, crit damage, and crit chance. I could probably do it for tenacity and offense, but for today, potency is really important. Specifically, we want potency on a couple different characters. We want it on Darth Vader for now. We might eventually put different mods on him, but we also want it for Zeb. Those are the 2 that we're going to be focusing on, putting them on right now. So I want to do 2 refreshes a day for a while, for as long as I can. So we're going to buy the refresh here. We may as well buy a second refresh, and then we can buy all the mods at the same time. So now that I've beat this at 5 stars, we want all these potency mods. We can only get 15, but I'm going to show you guys kind of what we're looking for here a little bit. Like for instance, these 3 mods, eventually we're just going to sell them, and 4 for that matter, we're not even going to look at them. The hope is that we get an arrow with speed on it. Oh, that's so good, so lucky. That might be my first 5 speed arrow. That is fantastic. And then we also want, it looks like we didn't even get a cross here. Let's do one more try here. See if we can get a cross here. No crosses to be found. Well, that's unfortunate. But so potency is a stat that helps you apply debuffs, and Zeb really likes to apply his debuffs. His stagger is really good, his stun is really good, his daze is really good. So we want to get him as strong as possible. So we're going to take these health mods off, and instead, so we're going to lock this. I use lock so that we can't sell it. It's a speed arrow. It's plus 21 speed. That's fine. The best arrows are the ones with speed on them, on their primary stat. This is the only type of mod that can have speed as a primary stat, is the arrow. So for this one, we're just going to go straight up. It costs a lot of credits here. You can see we're at 1.2 million, and that raid actually gave us like 1 million, so that's helpful. So we're going to get this all the way up to 15, And you can see we get a bunch of these other stats. Speed is up to 30 though. Now we do have slicing materials apparently. We're not going to use the slicing materials here. I'm actually not going to cover that right now, but we can eventually get this to go from green up to blue, up to purple, up to gold. So we have this speed arrow. We're going to put it on Zeb. Great. Now the potency sets we need 2 of to get a potency bonus. So right here we're going to so these are 4 dot mods. The higher level 4 dot mods I do level up just to see. In the secondary stats you can have 4 different stats. What you're really looking for a lot of times, you want to look for there's a bunch of different stats. You want to look for speed. Speed secondary is something we're going to be hunting forever in this game. The speed secondaries are very important. In this case, we can look, okay, so we have protection. I'm going to upgrade this to 12. So here, at every step of 3 levels, we get a new secondary stat. See, if we level it to 4, we don't get anything. If we level it to 5, we don't get anything. If we level it to 6, we get a new stat. So level it up to 9. Ooh, we got speed. Nice. Level it up to 12. We get another one. Now we got speed on here. We've got protection, which is a good stat for him. That's more hit points. So we're gonna upgrade it to 15. We can actually slice this. I'm going to try it just for fun. Once we slice something, one of these 4 stats is going to increase. It's just randomized. I hope it hits speed. That would be really nice. Instead, we got the worthless one, defense. That's fine though. So we're gonna lock this because speed right now, don't get into the habit of thinking that speed is super common. It's not at this point in the game. Any amount of speed on a mod we want to keep. Eventually we're gonna be more selective. +3 is not very much long term, but short term, it's just fine. So you see here, we've already got 2 mods here. The mod set bonus, if we have a set of 2 level 15 potency mods that are at plus 15% potency. So we're already doing okay. Now we don't have any potency mods here, any potency crosses. However, we do have a couple 4 dot. We don't have any 5 dot, but we do have 4 dot. Let's do offense here because it has a potency secondary. And I really don't want to go into too much on this, but on a green mod, it's already built in that one of the secondary stats will increase once you hit gear or level 12. So we're going to do that. Hopefully potency increases, or we have a speed secondary and that increases. So we did get a speed secondary, neither speed nor potency upgraded. That's fine. We'll get it to 15 and assign it. Down here, now, purple mods, we already have 3 stats visible. This is the level B mod. Level A is gold, and that's about as strong as you can get until you get it up to 6 dots, which we'll talk about later. However, you need to upgrade to level 3 to get the last stat to show. Okay, so no speed shows. We're actually gonna look at this. I want to see if the potency increases here. Got more defense, worthless stat. Protection is okay, not great. More defense. Okay, so that mod is probably just gonna be garbage. We might keep it around for a little bit just to apply to other characters. Now, this is an exciting one. It already has 5 speed. That's the most that you'll find on a mod. We're going to get it to 12. It has 3 chances to upgrade on speed. Hopefully we get something. Nothing. Oh, that's so frustrating. +5 is still pretty decent at this stage of the game. So we're going to keep that. And over here, we're going to just upgrade these guys. We're going to get it to level 9 so we can see all of the stats. No speed. We're looking for speed here if we can. Nothing still. This one already has speed, so we're going to take it to 12 to see if the speed increases. It does not. It does have potency on it, though. So we're going to upgrade this one because... Oh, and we are already out of... we're already out of credits. That is crazy. Wow, this one, all right. This one also has speed built into it. That's exciting. Let's real quick just go in and sell some of these 3-dot mods and 4-dot mods. Really, we don't need them anymore. I'm keeping the arrows that have speed on them, and otherwise I'm selling them. I need the credits, though, to be able to upgrade this last mod. And this is something that we're going to be scrambling about in the game for a lot. Like, we need a lot of credits to upgrade our mods, but these stats are incredibly important for us long term. So, alright, let's sell all these. Alright, so this thing, let's see what we can do. This gets up to 12. Oh my goodness, my luck on mods has not been great tonight at all. That is hideous. Really bad result. And that is the only potency mod that I really want to mess with right now. So we're still going to upgrade it all the way to 15. Unfortunately, gosh, I can't believe I've had such terrible luck with them. Well, I can. You'll find that mods are one of the most aggravating things in this game. They just really can really frustrate you. So we're eventually going to want to get this potency mod up to gear or level 15 just so we can get the full bonus. Right now we're only getting the set bonus for half. Eventually we want to get it to 15 so we get the full potency. And now our potency here, it's decent, 56. Eventually we want a cross that has potency second or primary on it. For right now, offense will work. So, not the very best. We did get a better speed arrow. That's good at least. We have less health. We have more protection. Overall, this is a decent start. Zeb likes to have more protection and health, of course, but he really likes having that potency so that he can apply his debuffs. And that is I'll talk about it in a later episode. That stat is held in direct contradiction to tenacity. How tenacious is a character? It depends on basically your potency minus their tenacity. If you have more potency than their tenacity, then you'll be able to apply the debuff basically every time. So we're going to confirm this. He's got all his mods on him. And that's about it, guys. Don't get rid of your mods too soon. One thing I want you to do for the 5-dot, these gray ones, the level E ones, before you get rid of them, just take them to level 6. That costs barely anything. If they have speed on them, keep them around. If they don't, there's a total of 16 secondaries. If they don't have speed on them, then you can probably get rid of them at this point if you can farm them as much as you want, as you can. Just get them up to 6 and then discard. Get this one up to 6. And look at that, we got speed. So eventually we're going to want to get that to 15 and try to upgrade the speed. We'll talk about all of that later. But for now, I hope that gives you guys just kind of a brief intro into mods and how I approach modding. It's a pretty daunting thing. A lot of people hate mods. They can be frustrating. They are huge for PvP, though. If you want to get an advantage against your opponent, you need good modding. You need to pay attention to the stats that matter. Right now, the stats are speed secondaries, speed primary on arrows are very important as well. Getting 5-dot mods is important. Putting potency on Zeb and eventually on Vader, that's important. And that's all that I'm going to say about mods for now. We're just going to go in bite-sized chunks on this in terms of mods. And otherwise, guys, oh, look at that. Woo! That is awesome. Just randomly got another 25 shards on the Jedi Consular. I've gotten that a couple other times, in fact, And now, once we have the credits, because we're totally broke right now, we actually will have him at 5 stars, and we can use him as one of our Jedi to eventually unlock Grandmaster Yoda. We're not there yet. We have now we have 3 Jedi that can do it though. We have Ezra, Kanan, and Jedi Consular. Bastila will eventually be one of those, and the other one is going to be Jedi Knight Anakin, I believe. So, anyways, folks, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you have a great day or week or both. And thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.